Hey guys, Abel in Vegas here, and today I decided to go live because I want to keep testing the software that I got. So let me do something real quick just to see if I could check um, the audio to make sure that that is coming out good, and then have my screen there for anybody who joins. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's pretty good. So today, I want to kind of talk about some stuff that I got in the mail this week and kind of show you guys a couple of PSA items that I received back from California. So first this week, very interesting. I received my Topps um, Futures Club Stars package, and it was soccer. So let me set my cameras up and I'll show you. So it came with this pretty cool um, Lionel Messi. Um, this is a set. I've showed a video of the set a long time ago. Not a long time ago, but at least a month or so ago when I received it. So I guess Topps is still making these and has a lot of these. Um, so they shipped it out. Part of that also included this cool little pop socket. Pretty neat. Then they also included a few cards for the Future Stars Clubs. So here is a Robert Firmino card. There's no numbers, but on the back you could tell there's the logo for the Topps Future Stars. Next we have Kevin De Bruyne, probably botched that. There's the bag. Doesn't say anything, just says the team. We also have Erling Haaland. I think he's pretty popular, I believe. Harry Kane. And a Neymar Jr. So I thought that was pretty neat, some soccer cards. The only thing I'm not sure is if Topps provides the print run for their Future Stars clubs, because obviously there's a set, a 5-card set that comes in every month. But I haven't seen or heard any information as to whether they do offer the print runs. So if they do somewhere, let me know in the comments. If not, then that's okay too. Next, I would like to show you guys. We're going to start with the jumbo order for PSA. This jumbo order was economy, 55 business days. It was entered into the system by PSA on May 19th. It was actually shipped to PSA on May 2nd, but they didn't enter into the system until the 29th. And it was received back to me. I actually got this yesterday, August 6th. So May, June, July, so about 2.5 months. So here's the first card that I got. So these are some jumbo cards. This is from 2016 Stadium Club. This is a Fernando Valenzuela 5x7 gold. And what's neat about these are numbered to 10. Numbered down here, I don't know if you could tell. So I thought this was pretty cool. I mean, for me, it's not necessarily about the grade. I knew there was issues with the edging, especially in the back. There's a lot of issues here, and the quarters were not that great. Here's the back of the card. But as a Fernando fan, I thought this was a cool little neat item to have for the collection. So I had to get it slabbed. And I'm a big fan of having display cases, and that is something that I want in the future, kind of like my own museum. So that's the reason why I sent these in. So I sent in this Pikachu. So these come in those boxes that you find at Target or Walmart. They include an oversized jumbo card. So I just thought for the display, as I display different Pikachu cards um, and other items, I thought this was cool to have. Um, so this is from the 2019. This is the came from the SM Black Star. This is the Pikachu GX, and it came as a back as an 8. And there's the back. So I thought it wasn't that bad. They just look neat. Then the third one that I did is a Zacian V. So I am trying to put together the collection of these for the different parallels. So I figured once I saw this big one, I said, oh, I need to have the big one graded as well. So this one also came back as an 8. And there's the back. I do have, I could show you real quick, because I think it's right here. Let me see. I do have an, there we go. So I am getting an order ready to go to PSA, but I did pull the gold version the other day. Check that out. So, like I said, I'm putting together that little set, so that's pretty cool. And then now we have, also want to show you guys the second order that I received from PSA. So this was a 6-card regular order as well. This was actually shipped to PSA on May 23rd. They received it on the 27th. They entered it into their system on June 22nd, and I ended up getting it back on August 4th. So technically, the grading time took about 1 month and 12 days, or maybe 10 days, 1 month and 10 days. But from shipping to getting it received, it took just a little hair over 2 months, which is not bad considering the volume that PSA is dealing with. So the first card that I have is a Yu-Gi-Oh card, and this is a 2018 Yu-Gi-Oh Japan. This is a Blue Eyes White Dragon 20th Anniversary Duelist. This is from the Duelist box. And what's cool about this card is actually a metal card. I know you won't be able to tell, but it is a little bit heavier. But I like that it's a metal card. But this ended up coming back as a 9. So I'm interested to see what exactly it was that they saw. Because to me, the card looked pretty well, but maybe there was some scratching somewhere that I missed, or you can't tell really on this camera, but right here by the 0, a little bit to the right, there's a little dot, but I wonder if that's really what, I don't know if you could tell. See how it kind of like, there's a little thing that shines. So I wonder if they felt like there's like a missing, like a dimple, and that's what made it a 9. But other than that, again, this is mostly just for my display. So it's pretty awesome. The next 2 cards, you have some Project 2020. And I sent these mostly as a test because I wanted to see how PSA was going to be treating the Project 2020 cards, because these are thicker cards. And I could tell you that overall, the grades that I've seen, there's a lot of cards that mostly are not getting 10s. the thickness of the cards. PSA has always been a negative with regards to how they deal with thick cards. So so we have a 9 for the Mike Trout Ben Baller, and I did send 2 of them, and the second one also got a 9. I am picking up 5 copies of each of the Trouts. My goal was to send 2 to PSA and 2 to BGS, but after this result, I'm gonna hold off and either send all of them to BGS, or hopefully within the next few months, SGC also decides to be, have these thick cards for available for grading because they don't have the slabs right now. But then I would send a couple to them to see how they will be treating these thick cards, and if they provide better grades, then it's definitely worth sending to a different company and not PSA. The next card that I share with you is a Panini Prism base card of Trae Young, and this one came back with a 9, and I know why. There is, on the very edge over here, there's like a fingerprint, and these cards being what they are, I'm not sure. I thought I had cleaned this pretty nice, so I'm not sure if as I was putting them, so it's right here. Oh, you can't see it because of it. So right here, there's a thumbprint. So I don't know if that was me as I was putting it in the sleeve, or but because I remember cleaning these pretty nice. But like I said, maybe I just missed um, cleaning it. So um, don't know if it's worth cracking and then cleaning that up and then resubmitting, because I sent this because to me this was one of the only ones that I had that was fairly centered. But then I've had a hard time deciding whether maybe there's something else that's an issue. But it came out as a 9. Then before I get to the final card, I'll show you this one. So this is the 2012-2013 Panini Prism. This is the LeBron James card number 1. In a PSA 10, this base, just the base card, is already over $1,000. However, this one is not a 10, and I knew when I sent it in that it was not going to be a 10, even though at first I thought, oh, this should be a 10, and I considered sending it at the higher grade level because I thought it was a 10 just for value. But it's hard to tell on the video or on camera, but right by his head right here, like I said, on camera you need to see this with your naked eye. There's a faint scratch, literally the smallest of scratches. Like if you hold it up here, like you don't see it, you literally have to really have the reflection to be able to see, to be able to tell. But obviously the greater, you should be able to see that. So once I saw that, I'm like, this is not getting a 10. So I decided to just send it at the lower level, which was good because they didn't upcharge me for this. So it came back as a 9. But this will now go next to my Kawhi card that I have from this set too. And then you'll be able to see in future videos, because I have some PSA or some SGC submissions. I have a couple more cards that I'll be sending in from this set to grade. So I'll end the review with the card of the submission, which is a Luka. And again, I was happy that they did not upcharge me, because this came back a dime. Gem Mint 10. So this one, they gave it a 10. I felt the centering was a little off. So, but I only pulled one Luca base, I believe. So for it to come back at 10, that's pretty awesome. Maybe a second one now I have, but it was funny because I pulled several of other players, but of Luca I only pulled one. So I'm happy that I came back at 10. So I'll be able to add that to my PC. So that's it. That's the 6 cards that I got for this review. Let me, while we talk, I could actually do this real quick because I have a couple of these pretty close by. Whoop. Check that out. Now, before I end this video, I'm going to put a question mark, a question here on the screen. And that is the chase for wax making you upset? Or what are your thoughts on the craziness of the wax right now? And the reason I ask this question is because it has become frustrating for those of us who like to break wax, trying to find wax, and um, the prices for wax in general are pretty expensive, at least for hobby. I remember last year at the National, you could get a box of baseball chrome for $229. The jumbo, and I think hobbies were like 120 maybe. Can't remember, but because I remember I pre-ordered a box of the jumbo and it was reasonable. But this year, if you were able to pre-order it, I think it was 200 and either 49 or 79. But now that it's released, a box of the 5 card or the 5 auto box, the jumbo, is up to $469. When I logged into Blowout a couple hours ago when I came home from work, because I was going to order a box, but not at that price. Instead, I ordered a box of Bowman Sterling. Even though that price gone up as well, I used my $100 reward that I won during the Hobby Palooza to, so I was able to get it for $220. So that should be coming either next week. I think it releases the 17th, so in about 10 to 12 days that should be coming in. But what made me think of this question is if it's making you upset is because it's frustrating, because the other day I was at Target yesterday actually, because I was trying to get to see if Topps Chrome had come in, because you literally have to be the first person there, I think now. But there was this guy that I started talking to who was there as well, and he was mentioning that it was his that he had been there all day, not all day, that he had been there before, and this was his second trip, because he had been at other several Targets in town. So if there's people that literally are now visiting Targets just to go to the card aisles, then those of us who like to find wax to rip are not going to be finding any, because people are just going there to buy it to resell it, which is unfortunate. And it made me think, not made me upset, not just for myself, but I think of people who have kids that, are you really going to be spending, $400 to $500 a box, to give to something for your kids? So retail really provides you with the option, to find some sort of wax to at a reasonable price that then you could spend some time, if you're a dad with your son, breaking some wax. Um, so it's kind of tough that right now there's people with their sole purpose, is just to go store to store, multiple times a day to see when the distributors are there, just to get the wax. I saw on Twitter somebody had posted a message that I guess there was a guy that was just hanging out at Walmart, waiting to see if the distributor arrived that day so he could buy whatever came in. And that's a shame. and I don't know how long, if this is going to last into things wind down, or is this now the new normal? What are people just going to go and buy wax um, to resell? So you'll be forced, if you want to break wax, you'll be forced to uh, buy it on the second market. And unfortunately, I think it's happening too to hobby shops. And are we going into a time where it's possible that we may be losing even more hobby shops? Because I mean, they were already running on thin margins. So how long can they stay afloat if they have to deal with distributors cutting the amount of wax they get at release, only because distributors want to keep it to mark it up after release and make you pay a higher price? So it's interesting times right now in regards to wax. You want this hobby to thrive. For the amount of money we're paying for wax for the 2018, starting with the Luca, for example, 2019, and even 2017 with in football, for example, with Patrick Mahomes, and the prices you pay for wax. Do these products have um, the stars and the rookies that will sustain those prices and going into the future? Um, so obviously, I think if you're buying it and keeping it sealed, then it's possible. I think at the higher prices, you may have to wait a longer time. But what's going to happen if you buy a product um, and the stars or the rookies do not pan out? You know, how is that going to affect people who buy wax and keep it long term? It's very interesting to think, interesting phenomena, uh, and we'll see um, how this goes on into the future. So those were just some of my thoughts today. Um, so we'll see how. Whoops, I didn't want to do that. So anyway, let me know in the comments what you thought. Let me know what you thought about my PSA reveals. Um, I have one more pending at PSA, which is a 28 or 26 card um, Pokemon. I took advantage of their promotion for the quarter. And then I don't have anything else that's sitting with them. I actually just did a book order with SGC. So most of my stuff is with SGC at the moment. But I do plan by the end of September to send some additional orders to PSA to take advantage of a couple of the um, PSA quarterly specials. So like right now they have one where I think it's $9 a card if you send stuff from the 90s. So I'm trying to find cards that I have from the 1990s and see if I could put an order together. The minimum is 25 cards, I believe. And then I'm also putting together. Oh, I can't stretch to get the cards, but I'm doing. You could send in right now. They have a quarterly special for center fielders, which includes Mike Trout, and you could do $10 a card for value up to $4.99. So it's basically 50% off their economy to send in Mike Trout cards. So that's something to take advantage of. So I'm trying to see how to open this in my studio, but I guess I can't. So well, I'm going ahead and cut the stream now. Thanks, guys, for watching, and catch you on the next one.